All right. Kathleen Kennedy has got to go. All right. I've had about enough Star Wars as I can take, bad Star Wars as I can take. Just reliving the Disney trilogy. I think it's just fair to say it's time for her to go, right? Okay, so let's talk about the good, which is like The Mandalorian and Jedi Fallen Order, which seems to be the two projects where she has the least amount in. Look, let me put it this way: maybe she was involved, and I want you to think about that. Maybe she was pretty involved in it, but not on paper, and she was out of sight for most of it, right? And I think the biggest lesson in that was that less is more of her, as far as appearance sake. Even if she is working on it, we don't need to. The discussion about Star Wars does not need to be about Kathleen Kennedy. It needs to be about Star Wars. It needs to be about the movies, the games, the lore, right? Now, from the very beginning, we had her announce that the EU was no longer canon, right? And they turned it into Legends. That was their first huge mistake. Now, look, going into Disney Star Wars, once they acquired it, I definitely understand, like, look, there's a lot of contradictions in the different books and the different EU stuff, right? Sometimes characters are alive in one book that are dead in the other. Or they're in one planet on this certain time, but they're also in another part of the galaxy at the same time in another book. So there's those types of conflicts and contradictions. So I understand not putting everything into the EU. All right, now, but you don't just tell the fans, yes, our EU's dead. We're just going to do it all over, and we're going to do our own thing, and everything's going to be connected. One big mistake, because you have tons of stuff to gleam off of. First off, their trilogy really should have been Heir to the Empire. Tell me in the comment section if I'm crazy. But if they really wanted to do a sequel trilogy, they had it right there. Heir to the Empire. Now, first off, let me be clear. I'm just finishing the first book. Haven't read the other two in the trilogy. But just in the little bit that I read, leaps and bounds, I'm already invested. Mara Jade, Cart, obviously Luke, Leia, Lando, Han, they're all there. So, maybe you guys in the comment section tell me that the books get worse or something like that. But from what I understand, they actually get better. So I'm very much looking forward to reading that. Why do you not do the Heir to the Empire when it's right there staring you in the face? It's already written. And all you have to do is, how do you say it? Make it proper for movies. Do a proper adaptation, I should say, right, to film. But no, instead they gave us this new trilogy that George Lucas did not want. By the way, was pretty adamant. He had his own vision, but that's his own other discussion. But it already disrespects the story master himself, right? On top of that, so let's get past that, all right? I mean, that's a whole other video unto itself. And then let's get into the crap quality of the movies, okay? I'm not going to continue to defend The Force Awakens and Rogue One. You guys know I really like those movies. The Force Awakens not so much anymore because Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker ruin it. All the stuff that Force Awakens got me hyped up for. If Luke Skywalker shows up at the end, we're going to see him kick some butt in a new one. No. We're going to see him drink alien tatty milk, right? That's what we're going to get. Alien tatty milk. And just pouring down his beard. That's what we get. And the one fight we get is so lame. Beautifully shot, boring, nothing happening. Yeah, and of course, that's the one film that Kathleen Kennedy did not meddle in, was The Last Jedi. The Rise of Skywalker, it was like they took 7 movies, they threw it in a blender, force drank it threw up, and whatever was left, that was the movie we got. And that was a real piece of crap. A real piece of crap. We really should have gotten Colin Trevorrow's script. Another reason KK's got to go, because it was her call to stop working with Colin Trevorrow. Colin Trevorrow apparently did not want wanted to write Luke back into Episode 9 as alive after Carrie Fisher passed away. And the rumor is that Kathleen Kennedy was like, nope, we have it set, and that's what it is. Dumb decision. How do you do that? How do you not think, like, oh, we're not going to have any film of Carrie? No, we're not going to recast her either, because that would only make sense. Let's just take some lost footage from The Force Awakens and let's shoehorn it into The Rise of Skywalker to make it this disjointed, hide her in the shadows, like totally disrespect to Princess Leia is ridiculous. And then and then the little bit that we get of Luke Skywalker, what do we get? 5 minutes? Not even 5 minutes. We got 3 minutes with Luke Skywalker, and he gives his cockamamie speech, like undoing what he did in The Last Jedi, which sounds great because I hate that movie too. But I mean, like, now what it looks like two directors flipping each other off, saying, "Oh, you're screwing my movie. No, screw your movie." That's what we got. Whose fault is that? Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, the buck stops with Bob Iger, really. But before Bob Iger, it goes to Kathleen Kennedy when it comes to Lucasfilm and Star Wars. So yeah, she's got to go. Who do we bring in? I think the answer is really obvious. Filoni, Favreau. One or the other. Make them morph into one thing, like Station from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Some of you guys know Station. Whatever you got to do. That's who you need. No, I don't know. Some people have been pretty critical for The Mandalorian. This is where I'll come in and say, hey, I love that show. And I think one of the best things going for that show was that KK had nothing to do with it. Or very little to do with it. Or the little bit that she did do with it was kept on the wraps, and we didn't have to get force-fed all this stuff, right? We didn't get the identity politics. We just got good stories. And still got strong female characters. We got nice diversity in the cast. And it doesn't feel forced. No need for KK telling us the Force is female and all that crap, right? I think I was a little disjointed in that and all over the place, but let me know in the comments what you guys think. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and a big shout out to John Paul Wright. Big shout out to the Phantom Collective. You guys really have been super kind. I mean, you guys are absolutely wonderful. Follow them on Twitter because they got just the right programming for you for all this for good Star Wars talk and more stuff, comic book, pop culture, all that stuff. So be sure to follow Phantom Collective. Thanks again, and John Paul Wright, Entertainment Hacker. Thank you. You guys have a blessed day. Thanks again for the millionth time. See you next time. Bye.
If you are not subscribed to this channel, The Entertainment Hacker, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button now.